to describe a teenager to you. He used to be funny, be social, fun to be around. But then somewhere around 9th grade, things changed. He started snapping at everyone, slamming doors, saying, "I'm fine," over and over again, while clearly not being fine. His grades were still good, so everyone just assumed it was hormones or just being a normal teenager, but it wasn't. He had been quietly struggling with anxiety and depression for nearly 2 years before anyone recognized it. And after more than 44 years as a pediatrician and seeing this quite often, I can tell you this: teen anxiety and depression rarely look the way that parents expect them to. Anxiety usually doesn't look like panic. It looks like anger or perfectionism, stomach aches, chronic headaches. A depressed teenager suddenly stops enjoying life and becomes isolated. Today, I want to talk to you about anxiety and depression in teenagers and walk you through the signs of them that parents most often miss and what you can do to help before things get worse. Because early support can change everything. Hi, I'm Dr. Kathie, a board-certified pediatrician. So anxiety and depression in teenagers rarely look the way that people expect them to. And according to the CDC, more than 40% of high school students report persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness. And nearly 80% of young people with anxiety or depression disorders never receive treatment. Not because parents don't care, but because anxiety often looks like anger, perfectionism, stomach aches, and depression shows up as withdrawal or a teenager who's constantly saying, "I'm fine." Now, some anxiety is normal, like before a test or a big game or an important speech. That's healthy stress, but anxiety disorders don't simply pass. They quietly begin affecting sleep, friendships, school, and confidence. And so much of this is happening inside loving families who genuinely don't realize what they're seeing. So today, let's talk about the signs that parents miss most often and what you can do to help. Sign number 1, anger and irritability. Teen anxiety often looks like anger, not fear. They snap, they slam doors, they seem irritated by everything. Parents often think, attitude, hormones, disrespect. But many teenagers are actually living in a constant state of internal stress and overwhelm. The anger is the anxiety spilling out. Sign number 2, physical symptoms. Anxiety is not emotional. It's physical too. Frequent stomach aches, headaches, fatigue or chronically tired, muscle tension, nausea. When medical tests and physical exams are normal, but the symptoms continue, anxiety may be part of the picture, or all of it. Sign number 3, perfectionism. Not all anxious teens are failing in school. Some are very high achievers. They redo assignments for hours, panic over small mistakes, avoid trying new things because they're terrified of failing. Perfectionism can be anxiety wearing a very successful mask. Elite athletes who are also tops in academics fall into this category. Sign number 4, avoidance. Anxiety can sometimes make teenagers avoid the things that scare them. They stop going out, quit activities they once loved, avoid social events. They say, "I'm just not interested anymore." But often it's not laziness or introversion. It's anxiety slowly shrinking their world. Sign number 5, sleep problems. Anxious minds don't switch off at bedtime. Trouble falling asleep, racing thoughts, waking up in the middle of the night, exhausted all day, but wired at night. Poor sleep both worsens anxiety as well as depression and is caused by both. If your teenager has struggled with sleep for weeks, it's worth paying attention to. Sign number 6, constant reassurance. Seeking, "What if I fail? Are you sure everything's okay?" Anxious teens often ask the same questions over and over because they need reassurance, because it brings temporary relief. But when the fear quickly returns, that can be a sign of underlying anxiety. Sign number 7, social withdrawal. Some independence is normal in teenagers, but isolation is different. A teen who suddenly stops seeing friends, avoids social events, or spends all their time alone may not be just introverted. Both social anxiety and depression often cause teenagers to slowly withdraw from the world around them. And did I mention that anxiety and depression can coexist? Sign number 8, procrastination and social avoidance. Sometimes procrastination is not laziness, it's fear. Fear of failing, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of not being good enough. Anxiety can make even starting a task feel overwhelming to some kids. Sign number 9, substance use or abuse. Some teenagers use marijuana, vaping, alcohol, and or drugs to quiet anxious thoughts. The relief feels temporary, but real. So if substance use suddenly appears in your family child, don't just ask what they're using, ask what they're trying to escape from. So if you suspect that your teenager may be anxious or depressed, how do you open the conversation? Well, if you're recognizing your teenager in some of these signs, I want you to know this. You don't need one big perfect conversation. In fact, teenagers often open up more during small, low-pressure moments. Driving in the car, going for a walk, getting a coffee. Start slowly. Hey, I've noticed that you seem more stressed lately. I just want to understand how you're doing. And then listen. Not to fix, not to lecture, just to understand. Because what helps teenagers open up is feeling safe, not feeling judged. Instead of, everyone gets stressed, try, that sounds really hard. Tell me more. One conversation may not change everything, but it can open the door for you. When should you decide to seek professional help? I want to be very clear about when it's time to get professional help if your teenager's anxiety or depression has been going on for weeks. If it's affecting sleep, school, friendships, eating, and daily life, if you're seeing hopelessness, self-harm, or substance use, please don't wait. Early treatment for anxiety and depression works, and the earlier we intervene, the better the outcome. Start with your teenager's pediatrician or primary caregiver. We can rule out medical causes, assess what's happening, and help connect your family with the right support. And if your gut is telling you something is wrong, trust it. You know your child better than anyone. You're not overreacting. You are just being a loving parent. I want to include a word on suicide thoughts. Before I go on further, I need to say one thing really important. If your teenager is talking about hurting themselves or saying things like, I don't want to really be here anymore, or everyone would be better off without me, please take it seriously. Every single time. Don't assume it's drama or attention seeking. Ask directly, are you thinking about hurting yourself? Research shows that asking this question does not plant the idea. It really opens the door for honesty and help. And if you believe your teenager may be in immediate danger, seek help right away. In the United States, you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crises Lifeline, 24 hours a day. You are not overreacting. You are being the parent that your child needs most right now. So to the parent who's scared, if you made it to this point of the video, I want to say something directly to you. Your teenager is lucky to have a parent who's trying to understand them better. That matters more than you know. Teenagers with anxiety don't need perfect parents. They need safe ones. Parents who stay calm, who keep showing up, who keep the door open. You do not have to say everything perfectly. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, I'm here and I'm listening. Even when they keep saying, I'm fine. Because feeling seen, supported, and loved is where healing begins. So in closing, anxiety and depression in teenagers are far more common than most parents realize. And it rarely looks the way that people expect. It can look like anger, perfectionism, withdrawal, physical symptoms, avoidance. But now you know what to look for. You know how to start the conversation, and you know when it's time to go ask for help. If this video helped you better understand your teenager, please share it with another parent who could be helped by it as well. And please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss my future videos. designed to help you raise healthier, happier kids. Until next time.